chillin', serial killing, pre-core villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos, by the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the Straight Chillin' Crew.
What up, nerds, and welcome to another very merry episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 556, recorded on Sunday, November 30th, 2025. Tonight, we are talking about Scrooged from 1988. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy, Randy. What's up, man?
Hello?
What's going on, baby? Into the Christmas spirit today. Bought a tree, did the whole thing. We're about to get into it.
Man, you're a turkey trotting, tree buying boy. Look at you doing all the things.
Put it on my tombstone. Exactly worded that way.
He's a tree buying boy. Last but not least, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up?
Oh, what up? It's your boy Bah Humbug Stains, but not really, because I love Christmas.
Just not really. It's a joke. I'm just kidding.
And actually, today is December 1st, boys, in Korea. I'm a day ahead of you, so.
The future sounds lovely.
We've got 25 days, boys, and then it's all downhill from there.
Yeah. And then the beginning of the end.
Depression really sets in nice in January.
That winter depression is
and
great.
We lock ourselves away in the Straight Chilling Vault for another 3 months, and we've got to come out for scarcity's sake.
Yeah.
Actually, that's when we should record more podcasts, boys.
Yeah.
We need the community more than ever.
Yeah.
Let's go to 2 days.
You just say record more?
Let's do 2 a day. Let's just crank them out.
My God.
I'll tell you, Harry. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about either. But hey, hope everybody that celebrates Thanksgiving had a lovely Thanksgiving, ate all the turkeys on the face of the earth. Happy December to all of you who celebrate December. Hope you have a good December.
I don't recognize December.
I don't either.
December's a pagan month.
It's 3rd October for me. Yeah, we're talking about Scrooge, getting into the holiday spirit. Before we do that, let's tackle some housekeeping. Our December poll closes in like 4 hours or so. So at the time of you listening to this, it will be closed and there will be a new poll up. Currently, it looks like The Wolf of Snow Hollow is still going to be winning the December poll. So we'll probably be talking about that in a couple weeks. That means our January poll. January 2026 poll is currently posted over on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this January. Something we like to do for our January poll is put down a big old list of movies that we missed in the previous year. So shit we missed in 2025, we got 6 movies for you to vote on instead of the 3, because we missed a lot of shit. They are Begonia, Companion, Dangerous Animals, Good Boy, The Toxic Avenger, and The Ugly Stepsister.
Whoa, Bob, how those numbers looking?
They don't exist yet.
Bob,
Whoa.
tell me, predict
Bob, do
into
your
the
job.
future how those numbers looking. Come on.
Future.
It's December 3rd. By the time people are listening to this, we need to know the numbers.
I gotta
What are we thinking, boys?
unlock my brain. I think The
guys
Ugly
wanna place
Stepsister is gonna do well here.
Okay. I think
That's
Begonia might do well as well. People
Yeah.
love that Yorgos Lanthimos. And
Yorgos Lanthimos.
my boy
Yorgos
Yorgos.
He's my ghost, not your.
Yorgos.
My ghost Lanthimos.
My ghost.
My ghost.
What's up, my
ghost?
Is that my ghost?
It's your boy, my ghost. What's
Oh, my
up?
lord.
What are we?
We're going to fuck up everybody's names, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, that's what we're here to do.
That's why would we break precedent now?
Yeah. Get those votes in. We'll see what movie we're talking about in January. We are, of course, dropping mini-casts every other Friday over on Patreon. We just dropped one on Shelby Oaks. Your boy Bob got stuckmanized. And I'm telling you all about it over on Patreon. So go check it out.
What?
Yeah. Next up, Predator Badlands from Shaboy Soju, dropping the 12th of December.
Yeah. That's the new hotness from the guy who did Cloverfield Lane. What's his name? Dan
Trachtenberg?
Trachtenberg? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tractor Mang.
That's the new hotness from what's his fucking name?
My boy Tractor Mang. You know.
People are like, who the fuck is anybody? What are they saying?
My ghost and Tractor Mang.
Tractor Man.
The best directors of our day.
Best directors that we can be bothered to remember their name.
Masters of horror, don't you know? Tractor Man.
Yeah.
And my ghost.
Do you even cinema?
Whoa. Okay.
My ghost.
My
My
ghost.
ghost laughed the most.
My ghost lanth the most. My ghost with lanth the most.
I hope we can get him on for an interview.
That would
Sure.
go so well.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine us being any more professional than we are right now.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'll just ask him about your boy Stavi. I just ask him about Stavros, you know.
You're just going to talk to
Yes.
him about Stavros.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to him about his work.
No, just
Talking about Stavros.
What's he like in real life? Is he really that funny?
Is he really that cool?
So yeah, check out your boy Soju's thoughts on Predator Badlands, dropping Friday, December 12th. That is almost everything we have going on with Patreon. Another reminder, we're going to be reopening the You Pick the Flick tier on January 1st. The first of the year.
Yes.
It's the
New
only
Year's
way.
Day, Bob.
Yeah, we're here to like make your year. We're going to
It's a
kick
good
it
thing
off
everyone's got a holiday that day so they can sit and wait for that
Yeah.
to open.
Just
So they
refresh
can get the U pick.
for hours.
That's what
on
everybody's
end.
doing on New Year's Day.
Make
Yeah.
sure that instead of hanging out with your friends and kissing a beautiful woman at midnight, you should be checking Straight Chilling's Patreon obsessively
Yep.
until that drop hits.
Refresh every minute. Just boom, 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 boom. It's a great use of your time, especially because there's only 5 spots available for the first half of the year. So
What?
Holy
Bob?
fucking shit.
I know
Bob.
that's what I said too. It's
But
crazy.
I
We're all
want the
upset about
money,
this. I don't
Bob.
know. What can we do?
What
You
can
know,
we? Our
we don't make the
hands
rules.
are tied.
We're giving away money, Bob.
We're giving
giving
away
away
money. We're not giving away money. We're selling.
We're
You
leaving
picks.
it on the table?
Bob, every week needs to be a U pick, okay? We got time is money, baby.
Dude, that would be rough
Help me,
sledding, I
help.
think, if we did that. But
Well, I mean, when we're selling for $100 a pop, I think we could power
that would
through.
oh, then we are doing 2 a day, 3 a day. We'll just, you know,
Oh, we're gonna be like,
let's do
we're
it.
going on commish.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to open up the first of the year. Only 5 spots available for the first 6 months, and then we'll reopen it again halfway through the year. So that's going to be posted on our Patreon website at an undisclosed time of day. You just got to check it throughout the day. If it's open, grab you a spot. Let us know what movie you want us to talk about, and we'll do it. There you
All
go.
right.
Hot damn.
That's all I got. Do you fellas have anything you need to plug?
Not a thing. Juice.
No, I think I'm clean this week.
Squeaky.
This house is clean.
Let's get into the main event. We are talking about Scrooged, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, I saw you throw that box up there. Tell me about that box.
Yeah.
Regular standard blue, right there.
Throwing it around. Yeah, it's got the what you call it, the holographic
Oh,
Cover
whoa,
art.
Bob, it's a hologram.
Whoa. You pulled a hologram, bro?
Bill Murray's
You sent it off to
moving.
Beckett?
He's moving. Yeah, dude.
Make him dance, Bob.
The price of Pokemon cards these days is fucking crazy, man. If only I would have held on to my shit. I mean, like some of those cards sell for like 10 grand.
It's kind of
like
insane,
fucking
yeah.
stupid.
That is quite stupid.
It is stupid.
That is very stupid.
Yeah.
Let's
but
start manufacturing Pokemon cards.
Let's
boys.
do it.
We
Let's
are
get in the
first to think
business.
of this.
Fucking crazy. Yeah,
I believe that.
I've got this on Blu-ray. This just came out on 4K not long ago. You can stream it. You can rent it. It's everywhere. Scrooged from 1988.
Maybe I can get Pokemon cards in Korea and then scalp them over in the States. What
Maybe.
do you think, boys?
I mean, let's
Buddy,
get it
scalping
going.
Pokemon cards is like 1/3 of the businesses in the country at this point. So
All right. Well, I'm gonna when I fly over for Christmas, my suitcases are gonna be full of Pokemon cards.
I hope
Everybody,
so.
hit me up. I'm gonna get you guys the deals.
Get you what you need.
Give me something to sell. Don't give me something to buy.
I get Mikey to move those real quick.
Dude,
might get
yeah,
moving in a fucking
he would
heartbeat.
buy all the cards off you. I promise you. This movie is shockingly rated PG-13, which is when did? Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of curse words, and there's like a half a nipple in here, and there's like
I want to see her nipple.
there it is.
We gotta establish, boys. We're not counting half star for Yabos, right? I mean, that's not a full.
No,
Just
it's not.
no.
You could count a
I
quarter
don't
star
think
for a
so.
half of Yabos.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You'll
Don't
give it
think
some
about
thought.
it.
Think about it. Think
think about it.
it.
I'm gonna spend this whole. I'm not gonna listen to y'all's review. I'm just gonna think on this Yabos.
I might do the same.
We're gonna
thing.
be talking about something that Juice is gonna come and say, yeah, but it's only half the nipples. How do you square that with your code?
Yeah, Bob. But what are those numbers looking like?
It's like, maybe a quarter nip, really. It's not even. This
Yeah.
movie's an hour and 41 minutes long, by the way.
Okay.
This is directed by Richard Donner, written by Mitch Glazer, Michael O'Donoghue. Charles Dickens, of course, wrote this screenplay himself. Everybody knows that. What? What? This got your boy Bill Murray in it, Karen Allen, John Glover, John Forsythe, Bobcat Goldthwait also in this, Carol Kane, some other funny folks. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. A selfish, cynical television executive is haunted by three spirits bearing lessons on Christmas Eve. Gentlemen, we've all seen this before. Would you recommend folks at home check out Scrooge? Randy, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, I've seen this. We were talking earlier. It must be more than 10 times at this point in my life. I would be hard pressed not to recommend this movie. I think that it's one of my favorite retellings of A Christmas Carol, certainly, and that we'll talk more about why that is in a minute. But yeah, I would generally recommend it to anybody PG-13 or older.
Are you
it's not quite for kids. I will
parental
say
guidance 13 yet?
that. Yes.
Have you had that?
Are you 13 yet, Randy?
I'm working on it, buddy. I'm really working on it. One day.
Sounds like a very nefarious question.
13 going on 40, am I right? Cool. Juice, what about you?
So I'm a little conflicted about this movie, honestly, and hopefully leads to a good discussion. I didn't grow up with this movie. I've seen it several times now in my life, but I didn't grow up with this movie, and I was thinking about this. We kind of touched on it a little bit when we covered Ghostbusters last year, but I didn't really grow up, I guess, in a kind of Bill Murray household. Really, the only one I feel like I can remember seeing when I was younger is maybe Groundhog's Day, maybe. But like I had never seen Ghostbusters when I was younger. I'd never really seen this when I was younger. I don't know. I just didn't really grow up much with Bill Murray films, I guess. And now, as an adult, it's a little tough. Like Bob talked about it too. I remember when I rewatched Ghostbusters after a long time, and like Bill Murray kind of put me off to it a little bit. And in this, I feel like Bill Murray kind of has that same thing going on a little. Like he's a little tough for me to get through his kind of personality. But this is an 80s classic. It is a Christmas Carol, but definitely if I'm reaching for a Christmas Carol, this is not like going to be one of my top 3 or 4 that I want to kind of go for. I like the kind of more classic Christmas aesthetic, of a Christmas Carol. So, but I do think it does some good things, and it's an 80s classic. So I'm going to give a loose recommend.
Oh, okay.
I'm loose. I am loose today. Bob, how about you?
I get where you're coming from with the Bill Murray thing. It doesn't really bother me much in this because the character is supposed to be a asshole, very unlikable, and then obviously as the plot progresses, he has that sort of come to Jesus moment at the end, and that it generally works for me. I like this movie quite a bit, actually. I think it's a really good 80s adaptation of A Christmas Carol. I think it's got a lot of jokes that land for me, and it also really doesn't shy away from it being a ghost story. It really does, I think, deliver on some pretty horrific stuff. This is, comedy first, I think, horror second, but I think it does fit pretty nicely in the comedy horror comedy space or whatever, however you want to define it. So overall, I think, I would recommend this unless for some reason you just, really dislike Bill Murray's sense of humor. But outside of that, I think this is totally worth a watch. So
I think that's a pretty small pool of people. Honestly.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Pretty widely beloved figure.
Yeah. That sounds like a
hard to find.
Kind of a loose recommend, but I don't know. 2/3 of us say, and one of us is like loosey goosey. So do what you want.
That skews to a solid recommend.
Yeah.
All right, solid, rock solid, hard recommend from your boys here at the Straight Chillin' Crew. We're rolling into December hard. Check out Scrooged, because we're going to be spoiling the shit out of it, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Whoa, Bob, you got this plot synopsis?
You know I do. Ooh. Here we go. On December 23rd, the ruthless television executive Frank Cross plans an extravagant live broadcast of A Christmas Carol. He launches a fear-mongering ad campaign for the show and fires employee Elliot Loudermilk for questioning his tactics. That night, Frank is visited by the ghost of his mentor, Lou Hayward, who says he regrets not doing good deeds while he was still alive. He tells Franklin he will be visited by 3 ghosts to help him avoid the same fate. Frank's phone mysteriously dials his ex-girlfriend, Claire, who visits him at his office, but he's too preoccupied to give her attention. Frank's increasingly erratic behavior causes his boss to assign the young, ambitious Bryce Cummings to assist in the live production. On Christmas Eve, Frank is visited by the ghost of Christmas Past, who appears as a chain-smoking taxi driver. He takes Frank back to 1955, where he sees a young version of himself comforted by the television to escape the neglect of his fucked-up father. Then in 1968, an older version of himself working through the office Christmas party, but does end up meeting and falling in love with Claire. However, jumping to 1971, his growing selfishness has pushed her away. Back in present day, Frank decides to visit Claire at the homeless shelter she works at, but ends up mocking her as well as the homeless. He says she should prioritize herself over others. Next, the ghost of Christmas Present arrives, who is a violent fairy. She takes Frank to his assistant's house, and he sees she's struggling to feed her family, including her young son, who has been mute since he witnessed his father die. Frank is then shown his brother James, who yet again is celebrating Christmas without his brother. Frank is always invited, but he never does show. The ghost then abandons Frank in a sewer under a sidewalk, where he finds the frozen corpse of a homeless man he previously mocked. Frank, terrified, eventually breaks through a boarded door and finds himself transported to the production. Just a few minutes before the show is actually set to start, Frank goes into his office, where he's met by the extremely desperate Elliot, whose wife has now left him. Elliot tries to kill Frank with a shotgun, and Frank runs to the elevator where he is met by the literal Grim Reaper, the ghost of Christmas future. The ghost shows Frank a bleak future where Calvin is institutionalized, Claire is a vain socialite, and his cremation ceremony is only visited by his brother and his wife. Frank finds himself inside the coffin consumed by flames as he is then jolted back to the elevator face to face with Elliot. Frank, now full of life, ends up rehiring Elliot and gives him a raise. He takes over the production and interrupts the live broadcast to share his new appreciation for life and states it's never too late to change. He apologizes to Grace and his brother and delivers a heartfelt plea to Claire, who rushes over to the studio. As they reunite live on TV, Calvin speaks his first words. He says, "God bless us, everyone." Finally, Frank leads everyone in a joyous rendition of "Put a Little Love in Your Heart." Roll them credits.
All right.
There you go.
Well, boys, what do you think? A Christmas Carol, the most successful horror story ever?
Could be.
Yeah,
That's a reasonable take.
I think
honestly.
so. Yeah. It has endured.
It depends on how you're looking at it, though, because it is, but it's also like by most people's standards today. I think the fact that it ends with no actual, like the original ends, no bloodshed, no anything. It's just got a few spooky scenes. So it doesn't align with modern sensibilities of horror, I don't think.
It's
which
a
is
ghost
why
story,
people
though.
find it ends on a heartwarming note. You know what I mean? Most horrors don't necessarily do that, and I feel like that's a little cognitive dissonance for people. But I think that you're right. Like, yeah, it's a ghost story. It deals with death, and it deals with a lot of horrible things, really. Like the sins of humanity and all this shit. Like, I don't know. Could be. And I think that this take on it in the 80s to have a retelling of this story in the 80s is so potent. It's such a potent time for that to be tackled, because the unfettered deregulation and all this shit, and like people just climbing over each other to make money, the Wolf of Wall Street of it all. Like it really speaks to that,
the cocaine
that
of it all.
Cravenness.
Yeah, I was waiting for Bill Murray to just start ripping lines, but he sticks to the vodka and tab.
That would
the tab, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The TAB.
I think it's really a lot of it too. It's like the aesthetic of this, the grimy New York. It just, when I think of A Christmas Carol, you want the classic, England cobbled streets and the snow. I think it's hard for me to get, the ghost too of the taxi driver and a ferry. Like, it just doesn't match, the typical aesthetics that we get. But I do think that there are some moments that are handled really, really well. Like when his boss comes back, the first ghost or whatever, that looks great.
Yeah,
I think
amazing.
that looks
so good.
really good. And also too, I think the ghost of Christmas Future is pretty awesome too. The screen face, and when he lifts up the veil or whatever, and there's like the fucking corpses. Yeah, dude.
Like,
oh my god,
Good.
It's dark.
Stuck in his
Yeah.
rib
Practical
cage,
effects.
screaming.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
The very end, they show them like holding candy canes and shit, and I thought that's one of the funniest things in the movie, honestly.
Yeah,
They're singing along.
Those are two of my favorites. I hated the fairy though. I hated the fairy.
The fairy is a low point
God,
in the movie for me. She's a little annoying.
Story-wise, yes, but this time around, I'm looking at Carol Kane, and I'm like, Carol Kane is looking great in this movie. She is looking great. in this
You wanted to grab
Who's
her by
is
the
that?
lip?
Is that the fairy you talking about?
Yeah.
Want her to throw you down the
she looks
stairs,
fucking-
Randy? You want her to
I wouldn't say no.
Randy.
step
Hurt
on
me.
your
Slap you
nuts?
around with the God.
Break my
Why is it always
balls.
good in the nuts?
You got that
Clearly,
nutcracker
the
with you,
ball breaker
fairy?
suite is how they open the fucking scene.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
No,
enough.
don't break my balls.
Don't.
Don't.
No, but she's
Really
great.
don't.
She's great, like as a comedic actress. Obviously, like she's in so many. Like she's probably the thing that our generation probably recognizes her best from is Addams Family as the grandmother from Addams Family.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. Sure.
She's in
Yeah.
a billion fucking things, and she's always
okay.
really, really funny in them, in my opinion. So but like this, she looks sexy. She looks great.
Whoa, Randy. Okay. All right.
Merry Christmas to Randy. Oh.
And a special hello to Carol Kane.
This also adds several kind of new elements or twists, some of them that I don't think are in the original. And one of the things that there are some things that I think do work well, but one of the things I don't like is also too Bobcat, the what is his louder milk or so louder milk, yeah. Mm-hmm. That dude's I don't really like that added aspect of it.
I love Bobcat in this, man. Mm-hmm. He's so like unhinged in a lovely specific kind of way. That's
kind of annoying to me.
I like loosely,
his line delivery's great.
I loosely grew up watching this as a kid because it was like one of those that's always on Comedy Central. So saw it in bits and pieces, and like seeing him run around with a shotgun like stuck out to me so hard because I was like, why would the nice guy from Police Academy be doing this? Like, what's going on? I love it. I think he's funny.
I think he's really like he delivers a lot of like lines, some of them kind of subtle that were really, really funny. I thought, of course, I can't conjure any off the top of my head now, but one thing that I do like, the one negative about that to me is that as much as I enjoy it, he is basically just doing his at the time like his rock steady, whatever they call it, the caveman shtick that he does. That voice, like that's just what he was as a public figure for a long time.
It's like a Pauly Shore.
Kind of, yeah. He kind of like worked himself into that corner for a bit, and like he's like a normal person also. Since made a lot of like cool things that aren't cribbing off that at all, and I think he kind of swore off of it, maybe even. But in any case, I think this is one of my favorite examples of him in that sort of like cadence. So it's really good for a character that's like both timid and also shocked and like very pressed. You know what I mean? It works for this kind of character really, really well.
He's got that style of like physical humor going throughout this. Bill Murray does too, specifically when he's like involved with the Ghost Christmas Present. But that very physical comedy where he's just getting thrown around and like, you know, falling over, and even the cabs are like splashing them with water as they drive by and shit. Yeah, that slapstick sort of humor. Shit that you just truly don't see ever made anymore. I like seeing
the running bit of his bottle getting like stolen or dropped or whatever is pretty funny. And like it's just, he's very much like just put upon, and you can kind of see it makes a narrative sense for where he ends up. And then when Frank has his ultimate culmination, the fact that he's like pitching this all off of this character, like I don't know why, it just feels right. Like he's like, his big exuberant moment is with this character that's like that he particularly caused the most direct harm in a single day.
Yeah, why would he say, he's like, oh, I'll double your salary and everything, but then he's like, I don't think you're getting your job back. It's like, why is this desperate man helping Bill Murray? He wouldn't do that.
He was a drunken man. I think he was going in there to kill him. I don't know. Like he's kind of
Well, I know that's my whole point. He's like, oh, well, I'll help your life get back on track. But then he's like, help me sabotage my career, essentially, like by holding these people hostage. And he's like, I don't think you're getting your job back tomorrow. But also, too, I think there's so many of these added elements and that are not in the original, and then going back to the regular timeline that makes this movie feel like extra long for me, you know, because in the regular story, you spend the time with Scrooge and you get the whole setup of what everybody's doing, the Tiny Tim, or like you get introduced to Bob and like the situation, and then you go on the journey. You go to the past, you go to the present, you go to the future, and you wake up on Christmas. But this time it's like, you set some stuff up, you go to the past, you come back and you do some stuff in the present, and then you meet the ghost of the present, you go to other places, then you come back, and I think it makes it feel extra long. And then they add in these extra things that I don't think are necessary to build up Bill's character even more, of just like the other executive coming in and kind of taking over the production, and then you have this Loudermilk guy who's got to go through his thing, but then you also have the secretary, which is supposed to be Bob, and then you got his brother over here, and it feels like coming back too much and adding in these extra elements. It feels like it's just a little too long and a little too much back and forth too for me. It's one of the like kind of problems I have.
So like it sounds like, and you can say it otherwise, but like it sounds like you're like want it to be far more adherent to the original story than it is. And to me, like I never see this as a true retelling by any stretch. It is a play. Like it is self-aware of the existence of A Christmas Carol. So to me, it never was going to be a straight retelling. It is just like playing with the elements a little bit and modernizing them, which includes like if you've got this character that's in a very different kind of like evil boss scenario, and like an evil CEO is different than an evil like shopkeep in the fucking 1800s. You know what I mean? So like the kind of people he's around, the way he operates is cutthroat, but it's not just like, it's not necessarily just petty, it's also gamesmanship. So like having this threatening presence through Bryce is fine with me. And like him like it maybe I can understand like feeling like it's maybe overlong or whatever, but I don't feel that way, because to me it actually helps integrate some of those storylines a little bit more rather than having them clearly segmented and act one is this, and it's like the It movies versus the It miniseries. Like I understand wanting to keep them discreetly separate, but I think that for me it's more fun to bounce around a little bit like they do in like Yellow Jackets, say, just off the top of my head, or Lost or something. Like I like interspersing those revealing bits that don't only help like build what's coming, it also helps reveal a little bit about what you've already seen. Like not as much, not a ton in this movie, but a little bit.
I like the back and forth too. It feels like it helps ground the movie a little more. Like if you were to have like the three ghosts all back to back to back, I don't know, I feel like it might maybe sort of untether you to the primary like plot of what's happening, like because he's like running this production, and if the majority of the movie or half the movie you're just completely away from it, and then you come back, it might feel kind of like, well, like why do we even fucking care about the production anymore that he's putting on? Like I like that he kind of keeps coming back and checking in, and it also gives Bill Murray like more time to ad lib, and I think a lot of that stuff is pretty funny, like the nipple bit is the best part of the movie, probably. I don't know, just like him going to lunch with his boss and the dude from California, and they serve him a glass of water with an eyeball in it, and he starts freaking the fuck out, and then he sees the guy catch fire and he throws water on him. Like, yeah, these like random like, I love goofy things. These bits really work for me, even if they do pad it out in some way. I kind of like all that stuff.
But I mean, it is ultimately like starring an improviser star, like this. Like this is at least half of what people are coming to see this movie for, right? Like, and I think it fulfills a promise, basically. And I'll say, like, when he dumps water on that waiter and he's just like, what the fuck? And he turns like, I'm sorry, I thought you were Richard Pryor. That shit still makes me laugh a lot. That is such a fucking ridiculous, horrible line.
It is.
I
Apparently,
do want to highlight some. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, whenever Bill Murray busts his ass as he's running out of that restaurant, that was real. He really fucking busted his ass. Yeah,
there's no way that wasn't real.
He fell hard. Yeah.
One thing I want to highlight for the positives, I don't want to just go a full negative on it, but I thought that when they go to the past, especially when they're like very lovey-dovey and stuff, the chemistry with Claire, when they're especially when they're opening presents and stuff like that. Sutra. Yeah, I thought that their dynamic was really nice, and it's the one kind of moment in the film where Bill Murray's not just being a huge asshole all the time. So it's a kind of nice. It's nice to see him be able to pull it off, because I know that is his big thing, is being an asshole, and he does it well in this film. But it's nice. It's a short moment, but I thought that their chemistry was handled well. And I really like the secretary too. I think the secretary brings a lot of warmth when they go to her house and stuff like that. It was nice to have some warm moments here. And I think that they pull them off well, even though they're short and minimal.
I agree. I love the meet cute between Bill Murray and Karen Allen's characters is like really sweet, like genuinely kind of fun, and like, I don't know.
You find out why she calls him lumpy, than it is, which is a nice thing. Yeah, which is real nice. And then like all their conversations, but the entire like past scene or whatever, it's nice to see. Like, I think they do a good job of showing that Frank Cross was
he worked up to what he is now. He didn't start there. Like, it shows a very clear like start point of like, oh, he was very dedicated to his work. He was willing to sacrifice personal things and people in his life in order to get ahead. But it was not like a foregone conclusion at that time. He was not as cynical as he became, and not as very evil as he became. He had to become evil to get where he was. And that, I don't know, that just helps sell the whole core conceit for me of an 80s CEO Scrooge. Like, that makes perfect sense in my mind.
Really, you got to be born rich to be kind. That's the thing. When you work yourself up to it, you
that's
too many sacrifices.
We've seen that proven true time and time again.
Tale as old as time.
Inherited wealth is the surest sign that you are a good and kind person.
I love in the flashback where we do have the meet cute between Bill Murray and Karen Allen, where Bill Murray, it's like, I forget, it's like 1968 or something, which means he would be 17, maybe 18, and it's still just like, I don't know, 40-year-old Bill Murray playing that character or whatever. It's like
they just make his hair a little wilder.
That shit was cracking me up watching it. I
didn't really think about it that way, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's like,
you know what I didn't notice? I'm sorry, go ahead, Bob.
No, go for it. I was doing like age math.
Like, this is so stupid, but like, just my brain never connected this very, very obvious and not at all hidden dot, which is that, like, I didn't realize that the guy at the, like, his boss in the flashbacks is the boss that was the zombie. Like, I don't know why it took until this fucking like 10th or 12th viewing of this movie for me, like, oh, he was the zombie. This is the guy that eventually like is back to warn him as a zombie, but like, he's so made up in the as the ghost form.
I don't think I ever connected that either.
I didn't
don't
really
feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because like, I mean, they don't spend a lot of time with him in the past or whatever, but they show his connection to him.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
a
is
lot
Lou.
of makeup.
That's Lou. Yeah. Like, it's
the
character, and it does show that he's a philanderer. He's a little, but he's not like, he also doesn't seem like the worst guy in the world. It's easy to see how a young like mailroom guy that's trying to get ahead, being shined upon by a boss who's just like, hey, you didn't happen to notice a party around here? Like this, you know, like, he's a charming figure that is taking him under his wing, and I can see why he would be sort of like siren songed into away from the things that are actually important in his life by somebody like that.
Well, I think they kind of combined those. I think they're trying to do, it's weird because they add so many new elements to this one, but from the original story, you have two people that affect Scrooge's life in his business sense. The first one is the one he really respected, Fezziwig, I think, who treated him with kindness and like really helped him come up. And then the other one is his partner who has died, who's the one who warned. So they're kind of combining, I guess, that element of somebody. So I don't, I guess that's supposed to, because you do in the past, you know, he has a mentor that was a positive influence on his life, Fezziwig. And but then he like was like, oh, Fezziwig, he spent too much money to, you know, for this Christmas party, and like he should have been working and too jolly and stuff like that. But then when he looks back on it, he's like, oh, those were great times. And
right, even his mentor is telling him, hey, you should be enjoying this party. That's what it's for. And it's told right in the moment by whatever, not Tom Waits, that that it's like that it was him that took that away eventually. He's like, this is something that you chose not to participate in, but meant a lot to people, and you took it away from them for efficiency's sake, and the office morale had to suffer for it, I'm sure. So I don't know. I think it's a good beat.
Yeah, that taxi driver just is Tom Waits, right? Like,
I feel confident they tried to get Tom Waits to do this, and he said no, and then because of his litigation against people like stealing his likeness and stuff and doing lookalikes and sound-alikes of him in commercials and shit, they had to like walk right up to the line with this actor.
It's pretty
close.
Not
cross it.
Pretty close.
It's pretty close, but it's not. I don't think it's not 1-to-1.
Yeah,
which is impossible anyway.
The beginning of this movie is fucking gold, man. When we get a glimpse of like
the Lee Major stuff.
Yeah, the night the reindeer died, all the programming they're doing at the television station. And it's like this Santa's workshop is like
Father Loves Beaver.
The promos, dude.
Getting shot to shit.
Father Loves Beaver.
Father
That comedic
loves
timing on that
Beaver.
edit was really funny.
Bob Goulet's Old Fashioned Cajun Christmas.
the gator.
It's kind of Rick and Morty coded in that scene.
Shit.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah, that
It's
shit
just like insane bit after insane bit.
that shit cracks me up, man. And the Bobcat saying it looks like the Manson family Christmas special. It's like, man, what a great beginning to this. And then it's fucking gold. Also, Danny Elfman. I don't know if I ever realized that Danny Elfman scored this. The score on this thing is fucking fire. Yeah,
it's great. Yeah, like
it's
I always
shit.
forget that he did. And then that opening, like, it's just unmistakably Elfman once you like stop and listen to it for a second.
And the end of the movie where they go to like the Ghost of Christmas Future, and he sees himself like burning alive and all this stuff. That whole segment feels very Burton-esque, where they've got like the walls are sort of skewed and he's walking at an angle down the hallway.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like Elfman light, though. I don't know if he actually did any of the production on that. I feel like he just did the score but it does.
He's just saying it's got a Burton kind of feel. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah,
especially the funeral scene, and then Claire is all pasty white, and she's got the crazy. Yeah, it does look Burton-esque for sure.
Like they're in a weird white void the entire.
Yeah. That was kind of like hit or miss for me too, because I thought the funeral scene was very effective, especially when all of a sudden he's in the coffin and it's on fire. I was like, because it's a little bit different than just, "Ooh, I'm dead," or what, like him feeling like he was in the furnace. I was like, oh, that actually is really fucked up.
Dark,
but
great.
But the Claire moment really didn't hit for me. And also, too, I feel like we lose the effectiveness of what the original, like, Tiny Tim moment is. Like, oh, he dies of the disease, and there's just the empty chair where the family is mourning him. And this time he's like, he's institutionalized. And the mom's like, I can't visit him. That didn't really hit for me. And the Claire bit didn't make sense. But then the coffin thing was really good.
Yeah, the Frank stuff really hits. The other stuff is kind of like, it maybe feels a little hollow compared to the Frank stuff. But I think
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
I think he really sells that ending monologue though. Like, Bill Murray is such a vile piece of shit this whole movie, and then when he bursts out of that elevator, and he like kisses Bobcat Goldthwait on the mouth and shit, like there to the end, I think he like really sells this like joyous version of Bill Murray that you don't often see. Like, he even tears up, like he really like gets emotional at the end, and it like stretches his acting chops a little bit in a way that I think is pretty impressive, really.
And really, like, it's not just the acting. It's like, again, it's improv, but it's not necessarily comedic. There are comedic beats in there, obviously. Like, he bridges the gap between emotional moments with bits of charm and comedy, like the mistletoe bit and all those things. Like, but it feels like an episode of Curb where it's clear that he's tripping over words and like refinding his place. Like it speaks to the excitement of the character. It feels authentic because he is authentically tripping over things, trying to get to the point that he's supposed to get to. That is maybe not. Maybe he's being directed not to be hyper adherent to the script. He's freewheeling a little bit, and it makes it feel more authentic. And I don't know. To me, like that plus, like you said, all of the vile shit that he does and says throughout this movie, it really like it feels right for this retelling, for a retelling of the story. I think.
Yeah, it hits for me. This movie goes hard as hell too. Like, some of it is really, really fucked up and sad. That moment where Frank is stuck in the sewer and he finds the frozen corpse of the homeless man. It's pretty grim. Like, it's a pretty sad moment.
It reminds me of Groundhog Day, honestly. Like, what year did Groundhog Day come out? Was it 85? I gotta look now.
This was 88. I feel like Groundhog's Day was after this, but I'm not 100% sure.
Actually, you're right. No, it was 93. But like, it's got like, and it's just like as a story beat, like as an emotional, like kind of like core thread that you just kind of get interjected into this thing is a person who is down on their luck, who is homeless, that Frank or the Bill Murray's character is negligent towards and dismissive of, only to find out that they are in mortal danger, and it was his choices that maybe led him not to survive. Although in Groundhog's Day, it was not his choices that led him not to survive, as we find out. It was really just his time sort of situation. and it's just a reminder of the fragility of life and all that sort of thing. So I don't know, like I just to point out, just to connect the dot, I think that that's really interesting that the Bill Murray of all people like is just in multiple movies where this is being used as a parable. You know what I mean? This similar story.
Yeah,
that's kind of baked in.
The bit where you see little Frank and his dad gives him like 5 pounds of veal for Christmas and tells him to get a job, like that shit's really sad. And when he blows Claire off to go to dinner with his boss, and she's like, I think we should, take a break from each other. And like, he doesn't even fucking react to that. Like, there's some pretty hardcore moments in this movie that one really stuck out to me. Like, he just goes back to work and is completely unfazed.
He was not even listening to her,
by what she said. Yeah, it's pretty grim stuff.
Karen Allen sells that stuff too.
Dude,
like, she's too good of a character in this.
She's fantastic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kama Sutra. You boys ever get or give a copy of the Kama Sutra to someone for Christmas?
Oh, Bob, every
Receiving
Christmas.
a copy of the Kama Sutra is a solid gift.
That's why I give it out every Christmas.
Last year.
I give. What the fuck?
It's a family copy. It's been handed down generation to generation.
Damn.
Oh no. From whence you came.
Yeah, my family's wild.
Yeah,
they're wild.
Okay.
I don't know. Any other major things you guys want to touch on here?
I don't know. I feel like this movie has a bit of a mixed reputation, and I'm sure that my opinion of this is pretty colored by my repeated viewings, the nostalgia factor, all those sorts of things. They count for something. I have a harder time delineating where those things lie because I do think that there is a good movie in here on its own merits. But it seems like the people that saw it at the time were not, or like whatever, like it just doesn't have like a sterling reputation with people. It doesn't seem like, except for the Bill Murray of it all. If you're a Bill Murray fan, you like this movie. If you're not, it's maybe a little more scattershot as to whether or not you're going to like it, it seems like. So I don't know why that is exactly, because like there are things that I can point to and say like, yeah, that's not the greatest or whatever. Like Justin, you pointed out a few things that are perfectly reasonable critiques, but nothing that like to me like takes away from its best parts. So I don't know, just to point that out. And
it feels like this one fell through the cracks a little bit when it comes to Bill Murray's filmography. Like it's just not very well seen or celebrated, I think.
Really?
I feel like it's underrated as a
way.
movie and overrated as a Bill Murray movie.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've always seen it as part of his regular catalog. Like I wouldn't
really
Yeah,
maybe I'm off base on that, but it feels that way to me though.
Okay,
that's the thing. This is the thing is like I feel like the way people feel about this movie is like kind of all over the map. It feels like, and I don't know how to really make sense of that other than to just point it out.
Yeah. There are a couple like other neat little horror moments in this where like the first time you see Death, like his giant hand is coming through the wall of TVs behind Frank, which is a really great moment, but he's interrupted by Elliot Loudermilk running in. And when you see them like at the crematorium and Death is just sort of like floating across the tile floor and the fog is like emanating from Death and like rolling away from him, like from his cloak. I love the look of that shit. Like he's just floating on fog and moving around the room. That shit looks awesome.
And then
More
leads
of
to some
that.
cool like that costume with like the face,
yeah,
the screen face or whatever. Like it led to a couple of really cool shots, like when he's like pointing down the hallway and it's displayed on the face, and you're like, I don't know, like interesting like cinematography came out of that costume, man.
yeah. Good design, good shit. Let's go ahead and rate this thing out of 5. Rand Diesel, why don't you kick us off? You're a bit of a Murray head. Kick us off.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm not like I'm not a completionist. I'm not
Bit of a Bill nut.
I think that maybe there's like a little bit too much glorification of this man in general.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think is maybe not overrated. Isn't really the right word. It's really just like over revered. To where like just his mere presence in a movie
Blame,
makes people think that it's suddenly great.
Blame Zombieland for that, I think, or at least partially.
Maybe. I think that's the net result, honestly, more so
Yeah,
than
maybe,
the cause.
maybe so.
But like people like doing like street art of his face and shit, and like, I don't know. There's a weird cult of personality around the man that goes a little bit beyond what it should, I think. But all that to be said, I think this is a great movie. I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie. I think that it, like I said earlier, putting an 80s CEO in the place of Scrooged, it gives them a like fertile ground to like maybe not like hammer home, but certainly to touch on consumerism and like what's the word, like the psychopathy of the kind of people that get to that station in life. I don't know. I really like that. I do kind of wish they had hammered that a little bit more, but they're trying to make this accessible. They're still trying to make this into maybe not family friendly movie, but certainly a movie that lands in a heartwarming place. And it's going to be hard to do that if you lean too far into fucking Patrick Bateman of it all.
Jason Bateman.
That
of
works
it all.
too.
Either one, why not? Same guy. Yeah, I don't know. I really like this movie overall. I think that the performances are great. I even like the parts that I used to be kind of my skip over parts. Like I used to kind of feel that way about the Ghost of Christmas Present. Like the slapstick there was never the funniest parts to me. But like it's grown on me, and like I just like seeing Carol Kane doing shit. I still think she's like funny enough in her own right. Well, and then there's that, and then there's the side eye aspect of it.
Keep doing shit.
But like, I don't know. Like even the bad parts are still kind of good to me. Like even the parts that don't, I used to not. It's like when I watched Willy Wonka and I used to skip over the Cheer Up Charlie song. I love that song now. I watch it through every time. So I don't know.
Just a big softy, Randy.
I guess so. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give it my gut of a 3.5. Not a perfect movie by any stretch, but it is a movie that I have a lot of fondness for. That does a lot of things right, and that I think is maybe is simultaneously under and overrated based on who you're talking to, which is just an odd movie to parse in terms of its place in culture. But I just really like it a lot.
All right.
Was that 3.5 you said?
Yes, sir.
Juice. How do you feel?
Yeah, I guess I'm not too far off because I don't know. I kind of go back and forth with this movie. Like I said, I don't necessarily want it to be like a straight retelling. You know, I don't want it to be as close as possible to A Christmas Carol. But when I view this movie, though, I do see it as I'm viewing A Christmas Carol. Like I see it as I'm watching one of the many, many Christmas Carol movies that exist. Like I hold it in that kind of regard. And so in that way, again, like I said, it's not one that I'm ever particularly reaching for, but when it's on, I always remember that there are quite a lot of impressive moments to this film. They're not necessarily things that I want to see, but that I can respect and that I get enjoyment out of when it's on. As I said before, I think a lot of the practical effects in here look fantastic and hold up really well and do have a bit of Tim Burton flair, actually. Like I said, Lou coming back, I think, is one of the best. And then the deaths or the Christmas future design is really awesome. And even that guy like being frozen, Randy's background being frozen down there. We didn't really tell in that below the streets and it's all ice and stuff. Kind of looks like Batman Returns a little bit too. Yeah, there are some really cool elements to this that really do kind of make it special in a way. And there are good Bill Murray moments as well, even though it's not completely like what I want. At least Scrooge is supposed to be an asshole. You're not supposed to like him. And so it does tolerate it or it does make it a bit more tolerable with that aspect in it. And then they add warm characters in where they need to. I feel like maybe there could have been a little bit more just to kind of balance it out a little bit. But what's there is really good and effective. Little too long. I think this is 140. I think 10 minutes could have been shaved if one of the little side plots or like extra bits was not in there and we didn't go back and forth so much. So I do think it could have been trimmed up a little bit, but it's not like so terrible. So yeah, I think I'm going to give this a 3. out of 5. I'm not going to give half star for the Yabos. I'm not even going to give quarter star.
You've been thinking
So
about that
I've been thinking about it
all
the
night.
whole time. I really don't know anything that you guys say. So.
That shows.
I assume we all rated it now, so let's go ahead and head over to our
We have
Rotten
all
Tomatoes.
said everything that we've wanted to
I was
say.
thinking about those Yabos, so I just assumed both of you rated it already.
Oh, Bob, wait a minute.
Bob,
oh.
wait.
Oh.
Okay.
Why didn't you chime in, Bob?
Oh,
Bob.
sorry. I thought I already said everything I needed to say, but I guess I did.
Bob.
Oh, hey.
Out of 5.
Hey.
We're going to rate Scrooge.
Hey. I guess I'm a little warmer on this than you guys, which I didn't anticipate based on our conversation. I mean, not like crazy hot on this. Don't get me wrong. I dig this movie, though. I think this works as a pretty successful adaptation of A Christmas Carol, and I think you get a lot of Bill Murray in this, like that really works. Like you can see his acting ability really come through and like stretch in this movie than I think you see in a lot of other Bill Murray performances, where he's a little more one note, I guess. He's got more range happening in this that I really dig. They filmed this, I believe, 4 years after Ghostbusters came out. And like after the crazy success of Ghostbusters, I guess Bill Murray just fucked off to France and lived there for like 4 years and didn't work. And then he came back to do this. So like considering that he had been not practicing his profession for like 4 years and to come in hot with like some pretty solid improv, I would say, is just kind of impressive to me. So I dig that. I really dig the supporting cast too. There's a lot of like sort of familiar character actors in this that do a really great job. I love seeing Bobcat Goldthwait in almost anything. Love seeing him in this. All of the practical effects look really good. I think they really hold up well. When his boss comes back to give him his warning and then holds him outside the window of the skyscraper and his arm breaks in half, like that moment is like fucking amazing. The design of death and everything, they just really, they don't pull any punches regarding the practical effects or like the overall ghost story of this. They really go kind of hard where it needs to go hard. It pulls on some heartstrings, and I think that closing monologue is impactful. I think it hits. So there's not a whole lot of like negatives for me. Maybe it feels a touch long in the tooth, but I don't know that I would really want them to cut anything. I like kind of the additional characters and the fact that we keep sort of going back and forth in time. I like that change here. So I don't know. This one doesn't quite feel like a classic to me, but maybe it's like sort of like skirting the line there. But I'm going to come in with a 4 even on this. And that is going to put...
I debated a 4.
Well, Randy, you can always... There's room to grow.
Oh, wait. I thought it was written in blood.
Not when you agree with me, though. Then we can, negotiate things. Danny Elfman's score? Great. Yeah. Good shit. 4 from you, boy Bob. That's going to put our aggregate at a 3.5 for Scrooged. So let's go ahead and jump into a Rotten Tomatoes segment and see what the critics and users have to say.
Certified fresh to death.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these gents guess within the best of their ability what the aggregate positive score is on RottenTomatoes.com for both critics and users, using the critics' tomatometer and the users' poopometer. Starting with that tomatometer, there are 52 reviews counted from critics for this film. 52. So keep that in mind as you're making your wagers here. I'm going to start with Bob today. Bob, out of those 52 reviews, what percentage would you wager are positive?
I think this is going to be generally positive. But like we've discussed, it feels like the overall reception of this movie is kind of all across the board. It goes any which way. You never know how people are going to feel about this movie. I don't know that this is necessarily a critical darling. It's no Ghostbusters, but it is solid for what it is.
Groundhog's Day, legitimately.
It's no Groundhog's Day, yeah. So I don't know. This will high-ish maybe, but how high do we go? I'm just gonna... I'll take a 75, I think. Please, sir.
75 from Bob. Okay. All right, that's a directly in the mid-C area. Soju, how about you? You got a 75 on the board.
I think it's going to be higher than that. You boys are what Bob was saying. It was like kind of underseen or underrated for like a Bill Murray. I don't know. I'm never got that impression. So I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go with the boys, 86. I'm taking them.
Ooh, okay.
Project.
One last disguise.
All right. 86. The boys.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, well, some quick math, very quick math, tells me that one of you is just 4 percentage points away from victory.
You're so quick with
And
math.
I think it's going to be hard to guess who it is because, like we said, this was kind of all over the place. The tomatometer reads as follows: 71%. Bob's walking away with this one. It was under both of you guys, though.
Dude, that is precisely where we're at on this podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's,
Critics.
Yeah, we're men of the critics.
Men of the critics. I don't know if I like that as a tag.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't want to be part of the elite.
The elite
Why would I ever
Rotten
want to be
Tomatoes critics.
I just watched Scrooged. I was told not to be that.
I belong in the slums and the streets.
That's right. Put me down in the dregs of society, baby. All right, let's move over
the
to
streets.
let's move over to the poopometer, where there are 50,000 plus ratings counted.
Damn.
A significantly higher portion here, and we're going to go in reverse order as we make our wagers. Soju, 50,000 plus ratings. What percentage are positive?
Surprised by that. I want to double down 86. I want the boys again one more time.
One last disguise.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We know you
One
want the
last
boys.
disguise.
One last disguise.
One last disguise, please.
All right, Bob, how about you?
It still feels kind of high, even for the users, which I think will probably be warmer on this than the critics. But it still feels kind of high, so I'll take the under, and I'll go with an 84 so that maybe we can tie it up.
Whoa.
4. All right. Do a little bit of quick math here. I believe, unless I'm doing my math poorly, that it's a 13 percentage point difference between the correct answer and one of you. That correct answer is, again, 71% on both counts. Yeah. The critics and users are simpatico on this somehow. That's a rare thing indeed.
Well, Juice, it's all
But Bob,
Skeet
you're going to
tonight.
sweep this week.
Bob, that's a skeet
Skeet's
sweep.
back on the menu, boys.
Story of my life.
Doubt it. There's
You're gonna
weeks
have
where
to
there's
prove
no
that
ski,
claim.
Bob. Well, we've got proof.
We record it weekly.
Bob's whole life is No Nut November.
Oh, God.
Damn, dude.
I hope not. Don't want that from my boy.
That's brutal.
That's taking it too far.
Yeah, that's Randy. Damn.
Sure.
Why are you so
Sure,
mean, Randy?
Why do you hate
Because I haven't been
Bob,
visited by my 3
Randy?
ghosts yet to tell me about the
You need your
generosity
boy.
of jizzing.
You gotta want your boy
tease
to
Bob
nut,
about his
says the
skeet.
ghost.
Don't tease Bob about his skeet.
The ghost of nut future.
It just goes to Christmas future, and Bob's just really steaming about Randy's
my limp penis?
skeet comments.
Can't
just
believe he doesn't think I skeet.
Therapy bills are going up this week. All right.
I do skeet. How can I
swear I
convince him?
skeet.
Listen
Why
here,
don't you
therapist.
believe me?
My boy Rand Diesel said that I don't skeet.
Even my boys don't think I skeet.
If I can't convince my boys, who can I convince?
Definitely not my boys.
Oh God.
Man,
The critics'
I need to be a
consensus does read.
Yeah, I guess.
Critics' consensus reads as follows: Scrooged gets by with Bill Murray and a dash of holiday spirit, although it's hampered by a markedly conflicted tone and undercurrent of mean-spiritedness. I
That's
don't
the
know, man.
Point of the movie.
I agree. Like, I don't know. Like, how you gonna have a not mean Scrooge?
Yeah,
I don't
have a-
fucking understand.
Have just a slightly rude Scrooge.
The entire thing about this movie is it's supposed to be a little bit of a counterbalance to the cynicism of the Reagan 80s, and like there was a lot of that, like especially like the divisions in class and all that stuff. Like there's like all the rich folks are like jockeying for position, all the poor folks are scraping by and trying to make do with their families and so on. And like it's a classic tale, but it's also like I don't know, it feels distinctly 80s, and I don't know how you do that without the cynicism being there to then tackle.
Yeah, it is the entire point of the movie, and like I don't, to dial it down, I think would be doing a huge disservice to it. So that critique is stupid.
You damn.
Get ready for some more, because we're about to read some negative critic reviews. Let's see what these idiots have to say,
and then we'll talk about Skeet again.
Yeah,
we'll talk more about Skeet, the topic people are here to listen to. Here we go. Tacky in the extreme. This self-congratulatory 1988 film is an exercise in hypocrisy, indulging in every form of Christmas exploitation that it pretends to attack, and many of the laughs are forced. You could argue the laughs, but I think that's pretty harsh. Like, what is it that you expect from a story based on a Christmas Carol? Of course, it's going to lean into some holiday spirit shit. Like, what are you talking about? It's not exploitation. That's the story. I don't know what these people want.
I think it really, it is hard to kind of like wrap it in that 80s. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it kind of rubs me wrong a little bit too, but not to that extreme.
Self-congratulatory, tacky in the extreme. It says, I don't know about that. Here's another one. An appallingly unfunny comedy and a vivid illustration of the fact that money can't buy you laughs.
I mean, if you don't think it's funny, that's up to you. Whatever. But
yeah.
I don't know. I got some laughs.
Yeah, me too. I always have. I don't know. Okay, we'll do one more. In spite of the jokes at the expense of television network censors, there's very little in the film aside from naughty words that wouldn't be perfectly acceptable on primetime television. So
it's bad?
Like, my question to that is, so what?
Yeah.
Like,
your point is?
Maybe I'm not getting his full point by reading this blurb on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm going to pretend that I have, and it's stupid.
Yeah. All right, now let's get back to the
right thing to do. Yeah, let's get back to Skeet. Bob, tell us some trivia about Skeet.
It's totally time for trivia.
Some
new
trivia
Skeet segment here.
It's a new the weekly Skeet.
Weekly Skeet. Let's go.
This just
boy.
Yeah, there's some trivia here. Not a ton. So this
just in. Well's dry, boys.
This just in. Oh God,
the well's.
Shut it off. I'm dry.
Damn.
This just in from our correspondents overseas. The well is dry. Bone dry, they say.
Back to you, Juice. This is $32 million budget on this here film. It grossed about $100 million in theaters. So successful overall.
Yeah.
When the ghost of Christmas present grabbed Bill Murray's lip, she apparently tore it so badly that filming halted for a few days.
Wait, what happened?
Jesus.
When they first have
lip?
that interaction and the fairy grabs him by the lip and is like kind of leading him around. You remember that? She like tore his lip apparently.
Ooh.
Brutal.
Yikes. Terrible.
That sounds terrible.
Randy, that sounds like your dream happening.
I mean, the Skeet's flowing again.
This just in. The well's full. Back to you, Juice.
It's full again. Goddamn.
Yeah, emergency averted.
The street musicians that Bill Murray walks by and like talks some shit to. There's a handful of folks playing. Among them, Miles Davis is on the street, which is wild.
That's hilarious, considering he's like, "What? You just learned this song today?" Or some shit.
He's talking so much shit. Yeah, just legends.
He's such an extraordinary dick.
Bill Murray ad-libbed most of his lines in a 1988 interview with Philadelphia Daily News. Director Richard Donner said Murray's penchant for improvisation Discussed Murray's penchant for improvisation and described the experience of directing Murray as follows, quote, "It's like standing on 42nd Street and Broadway and the lights are out and you're the traffic cop." So sounds like he loved working with Bill. When Frank throws water on Richard on the burning waiter and says, "I'm sorry, I thought you were Richard Pryor," I didn't actually get what the fuck that meant, but apparently it's a reference to an event where Richard Pryor was freebasing cocaine and accidentally set himself on fire and ran down a busy street in L.A.
Goddamn. Okay.
Yeah, that was like he did like a famous bit about that. So,
okay.
It was part of his act. Like it became part of his act, but it was true apparently.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Elaine May did an uncredited rewrite of the script in 1988. Bill Murray praised May, saying, quote, "She really has a major coconut on the top of her head. It sort of turned out to be her movie. She took the script home one night and rewrote the whole thing. One night."
Damn, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I was that capable.
Damn.
Like to fucking hammer out a whole new script in a night. That's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of cocaine there.
Dude, maybe. It was the 80s. This is the last thing I have here. Shaboy movie critic Roger Ebert said this was the worst film adaptation of A Christmas Carol he had ever seen.
Okay, there you go. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone in my principle. I mean, I don't think it's the worst.
Yeah,
but,
that's-
I mean,
Cannot be
definitely not.
accurate.
There are so many.
there's literally like
it's
10
hard
that
to
come out
believe.
every year. Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably like 25 Hallmark Christmas Carol alikes
But
that you could look
yeah,
through.
of the major ones, this is definitely lower on my list.
He also he had a blurb on the Rotten Tomatoes as well, which was a little different, which was it was obviously intended as a comedy, but there's little comic about it, and indeed the movie's overriding emotions seem to be pain and anger. So Ebert fucking hated this thing like a lot.
All right. Well,
I think touching on that, I think the warmth doesn't shine through enough. I think that's the thing is, even at the end when he has this like come to Jesus moment, it's like it's not so warm. I don't know. The warm characters just maybe needed more and less of like the executive competing and the drunk guy in the streets. I don't know. I kind of feel that.
I feel like Karen Allen brings the heart enough for my, and like the brother and the receptionist.
Yeah, they do
Alfred
bring
Woodard's
it. I just don't
character.
think it like shines through enough. So I kind of feel that critique a little bit. I'm kind of on that side. Not as strong, but on that side.
something
Hard
else
with critics, Soju.
Something else I read in the trivia that at the end where they're singing "Put a Little Love in Your Heart" and Bill Murray turns and addresses the camera as if he's talking to the theater full of people watching the movie, and he's like trying to get them to sing along. That was an ad lib that he did, and I really like that, like directly addressing the audience to sort of sing along and like invite them to engage in the spirit of the movie and the holiday and all that. I thought that was a nice touch, actually.
Yeah.
I really loved when he said, "Feed me Seymour." That was
Feed
nice.
me Seymour. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's all the trivia I got. Let's go ahead and talk about our Cooter of the week.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the week.
Juice. What is a Cooter and why do we hunt them?
Oh, Cooter is a character type and a straight chillin'.
Are you singing a Bollywood song right now?
Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a Cooter. We want the Cooter with the most points. The 5 points of Cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, I think we got one clear-cut Cooter this week. Maybe more, but we got to start with old Bill Murray, right?
Yeah,
He has his redemption, though, you know?
I think that we have to. I think if we're gonna talk about Frank Cross the character, we talk about beginning of the movie Frank Cross the character, not into the movie, because like the whole point is that he comes around.
Yeah.
Sure.
But he's the clearest case before that.
So
smug
he's
arrogance
got the
through the
smug
roof.
arrogance for sure.
Manipulation. Who's he manipulating exactly? I mean, he's
He's lying and manipulating his way up the ladder his entire career, basically,
and
like,
his boss too. Yeah, he kind of like manipulating the situation a little bit.
Yeah,
Well, he is
glad-handing the
directly
fuck out of
trying
people.
to manipulate his entire audience at home by like making them
True.
fear
That's
that
Be
they,
afraid. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
He's
To
so
miss it, he's
psyched when an old lady
they have to be
dies.
scared to
Yeah.
miss it or whatever.
yeah. When that lady dies of
Okay.
a heart attack, he like rejoices for the free press of
Oh,
it.
remember when? And they call and Alfred Woodard's like, they want a quote from you from the Times, and he's like, tell her it's probably something she ate, and she says that, and he goes, oh, don't do that, and he's like, we at IBC are so horrified by this turn of events, blah, 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 or whatever, and like he gives a line.
He's a
basically.
spin doctor.
He's a spin doctor, yeah.
Smug
Crazy.
arrogance, manipulation, check.
Sexual deviance. He's trying to put nipples in a children's Christmas play.
I want to see her nipple.
We have the receipts.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, and he's making the dancers as
Bob wants to see those nipples.
I guess.
Bob's at odds with himself, right?
And we all want to see the nipple. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe
we're all on
if
the
you-
same page here, boys.
Maybe if you could skeet, this wouldn't be such an issue. I don't know.
Not my boys.
If the well wasn't dry, Bob.
No.
So we got 3 overall patheticness.
I mean,
He's an
it's one of those
executive.
situations where like he sells out everything that's actually important in his life to get where he is, and
Yeah.
pretends that doesn't bother him, but it clearly does. And it's the hard candy shell, the gooey molten center of a kid who was neglected by his parents, and tries to earn that love back by working as hard as his dad wanted him to work, basically. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's an element of patheticness to that, but it's also pretty understandable. They flesh it out to where it's hard to hold it against them, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pathetic.
And then looking at
little
Tyre.
Looking at Tyre.
I think he's looking pretty slick.
I don't think there's anything that stands out to me of how he's looking. He's wearing a dog costume at one point.
Yeah, but that's he's
Frisbee the
working.
dog.
He's
Frisbee.
at work.
Yeah.
He's a working man.
I don't know about
All
that
A,
one. Yeah, I
a
think
hard
he's fine.
3 out of 5, which gets you there already. So
Yeah,
Gets
he's
you.
there. Is there anybody else?
I mean, there's people that exhibit some of that's like
Like his
Loudermilk
boss.
has pathetic down pat.
Loudermilk
Like,
is pathetic.
I don't know. Not really. Like
Yeah, there's no other. Even
he really is
other executive guy seems like a
Bryce,
decent
Bryce
dude,
maybe,
right?
Yeah.
but like he is so manipulative that it's kind of hard to tell what he's
That's true.
aiming at most of the movie.
Or they make it seem like you are not sure if he's manipulating or not.
right until he says the line like, "Oh, he's finished," and he's like gleefully smiling about the Frank jumping on air and about to ruin his career and all that stuff.
True.
Until that moment, it's a little bit in question. Is like, like he is kind of holding it together while Frank has a mental breakdown. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think we have the strongest Cooter pool here, but there's some Cooter elements amongst the ranks for sure.
yeah. I guess Frank
Bill
before he has his come to Jesus moment is going to be the strongest.
Act 1, Frank.
Yeah.
All right. We got him, boys.
All right.
I got him.
Lock him up. Throw away the key. Boys, let's talk about what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
You're welcome, librarian. Randy, what you been watching?
Yeah, not a whole lot of change for me. I watched. Been watching Pluribus still. I'm enjoying that. I like the pace of it, but some people think it's going too slowly for them, and I can understand that. But I'm enjoying it. I'm on episode 4, or I finished episode 4, so that's where I'm at with it. I got my copy of Hades 2. I mentioned that last week, I believe, and it's just dominating whatever little spare time I have because it's so fucking addictively fun. I love that franchise. Those are 2 really solid games in my opinion. For on the day Thanksgiving, I watched the film Thanksgiving, which I hadn't seen since theaters, and which is still so fun. I think that's gonna that's going to be one to keep around for sure.
Oh, yeah.
With enough distance, it still holds as much water as it did the first time we watched it, I think. Not perfect, but certainly enjoyable enough for repeat viewing. Let's see. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, of course. I mean, I'm only human. Watch that shit. It's great. Yeah, that's really about it. Like, I guess I watched a little bit of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because, man, I love getting irrationally mad at fucking people doing dances and lip syncing, I guess. I don't know why I watched it. Very silly shit. But whatever. Jonathan Groff was on there for a minute. That was kind of fun. That's about it. I'm tapped.
Shut it off. I'm dry. Juice.
I'm dry.
What about you?
I'm dry. So I have been watching a ton of things, but I can't talk about most of it because it was at the Seoul International Film Festival, which is my first time attending. And it's still technically going on. So probably next week I'll be dropping a bonus episode highlighting everything that I saw there. But the one thing that I can talk about, and I would like to talk about just a little bit, is a very old film. It was the one they did for the opening ceremony, or after the opening ceremony on Thursday. And it was quite interesting just because it was a film from 1955, which is just 2 years after the Korean War ended. And
55.
yes, and it is a film called The Widow, and is about a woman whose husband died in the war. And it was the first and only film of Korea's first female director. And the interesting thing about it, and why it was interesting for the film festival, is now the ending, the original ending, has been lost. So there's like an hour and 15 minutes of the film that you can watch. And then the ending is gone. I mean, I originally had an ending of film, but I don't know if over time the copy got destroyed or whatever it is. It's gone. And so what they did is a crew got together and they had filmed a kind of new ending, because I guess there is like the original script is still preserved or whatever, or like people know what the original ending was, I guess, from when it first showed. And so they showed that at the film festival, and it was like really cool. Yeah, it was really cool because it's wild to watch a movie. I mean, watching Korea in 1955 and from a woman's perspective, and it's about a woman who's lost her husband in the war, but all the perspectives are like from women, because there's like affairs. It's like actually quite sexually driven. It was just like very, very interesting. And I did find out later.
Well? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I was just asking if the new footage and the old footage, did it blend well, or was it like...
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's just an interesting, and I don't know how faithful, because it was like 50 minutes worth of like new footage. So I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine. Maybe the original movie was 2 hours long. Maybe it was. So, but it was just a quite interesting exercise, I would say. And but just the original movie, if you are interested, you can watch it on YouTube under the Korean Film Archive. It's on there, and it's got the English subtitles and everything. And it's just wild to see like something from 1955 from a country that didn't really exist at that point. I mean, 2 years after the Korean War, there's really like national identity, like see what people are doing and what they're wearing and like walking through the street. It's like really crazy. Actually, it was really kind of like blowing my mind. But this, like the subject and like the way, just I don't know, the film is constructed was really impressive, actually. So yeah, it was interesting. But everything else I've watched, I've got over like 10 movies at least to talk about, and I might catch a couple more this week in between work and stuff. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But that's all for now. Bob, what you been watching?
A few things here. On Thanksgiving Eve, we threw on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Blood Rage, of course.
Got
couple classics you got to do. Revisited those, fun as always. Finally watched The Long Walk this week.
Ooh,
and
real good movie of the year.
I always want to call that fucking thing The Longest Walk. I have no idea why. That's how it's been categorized in my brain. I cannot turn it off. It's a dumb thing.
That's going to be the sequel. I enjoyed it for what it is. Anyway, it is an extremely down movie. Huge bummer, but really enjoyed it for what it was. Philip Seymour Hoffman's son playing the lead role here.
What's that Philip Seymour Hoffman's son? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
I don't know his name, but you can. He resembles his dad for sure.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I just didn't think
Cooper
about
Hoffman.
it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, did a great job. And then the sort of other lead, also don't know his name, but he plays the
David
android
Johnson.
in Alien Romulus.
Yeah, Romulus. Yeah.
Kills it in this
movie.
Yeah,
He's a little hard to understand because he really puts that accent all the way on.
Yeah, he commits.
Yeah.
Good shit though. Recommend it. It's just a bummer, so be ready for that. Also, Stranger Things 5 dropped the first 4 episodes. I did watch those and mixed on it overall, which I kind of figured I would be. I think we're gonna try and squeeze in a full review of the full season though, so that'll be like next year. But we'll see. Yeah, it's all right. I don't know. Did you guys watch any of that?
No.
I started to watch like 30 minutes of it, and then I was like, you know what? I really just want to watch it all together. I realized I forgot a lot of shit. Like I have not revisited.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a recap or two.
Yeah, they do a recap, but even then, I was like, "Wait, fuck! I kind of forgot everything."
Well, we did a review. You can go back. And
I guess so. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I haven't even revisited any of the previous seasons either. So now I'm literally like 12 years removed or something from the first one. So
we reviewed all 4 seasons.
All of them. Yeah, we kind of stuck ourselves into that. Yeah,
the 4th one at all.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
So,
and I like that one better than 3, which is weird. Like this show has started to just slide off the dome as quickly as it's watched.
Yeah. It's been so long.
Yeah. We're going to wrap it up.
I remember before I moved to Korea, the year before, so a whole year before I moved to Korea, we went to that festival in Orlando, saw those kids there. And that was after maybe the second season, maybe just the first, but I'm pretty like the second season was
the first, yeah.
Okay, it was finished and like there was already hype around it, which means it probably came out a year before that. So that was like,
oh yeah, it was around.
And I've been in Korea for 8.5 years. So
yeah, it's been like a decade.
That's how long.
Sure. Yeah,
it's been.
Yeah, it's been a long time. These kids, they're not kids anymore. It's
they're not. No, they're in high school, Bob. They're definitely in high school.
Oh,
how old is the oldest one? I want to know. Are they like 30 now? It feels like they probably should be close to that.
They're like 21 or so. I don't know. I feel like they're like 21 or 22 or I don't know, something like that.
We've seen so many fucking movies where this is the case. Like, it's just weird because they started the appropriate age and
they don't look the same.
Keep up.
So yeah, that's on Netflix if you want to check that out. It's really all I've been watching here this week. We do have 2 voicemails to get to, so let's jump into our Hotline Screams.
Hotline Scream.
If you would like to call in and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, you can hit us up at 904-638-3231. First up, we did put up the Hugh Janus signal last week, and he has responded. Let's hear what our boy Hugh has to say.
Earlier than I thought, to be honest. All right.
Yeah, Hugh calling. Soju put up the Janus signal, so I had to call. I had to check back. I couldn't believe it was mid-March the last time I called in. Time flies, I guess. Just been listening to the episodes every week. I usually listen to the episode before I watch the movie. Probably 95% of the movies so far this year I've never seen. There's been some good ones. The Substance, Sinners, Ready or Not, Bring Her Back. I did not watch Twilight or Elves. The movie Phenomena. Not sure Argento is my favorite. Had a killer monkey, though. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his brother's movies. Sargento, same kind of directing style, just a little cheesier. Trying to think of some of the prompts you guys had. One of them was what movie opening you would have liked to have been there to see. I think Psycho would have been a good one. Another one was, when did you first see Frankenstein, Wolfman, and the Invisible Man? I was in the theater for their debuts. Little side note, I was in the movie Frankenstein. I was the stunt double for the girl that got thrown into the lake. Another prompt, worst road trip. 1876, I was headed west to Oregon. Joined a group of fellas, said they were going to Little Bighorn, Montana. The only thing that got me out of that whole mess was a year previous, I had saved the life of Chief Running Water and his two sons, hot and cold. On one of the What You've Been Watching, Bob mentioned he watched the Pee Wee Herman documentary. That it was kind of inspirational, just makes you want to do weird shit and not care what anybody thinks. Well, Bob, if I'm correct, this is episode 556 of you doing weird shit and not caring what anybody thinks. So you've made it, buddy. That's about all I got. I hope everybody has a great holiday season and a great new year. And I hope everyone's well. And I guess keep on chilling.
Man brings the heat. Let me tell you.
Goddamn, love Hugh Janus.
Don't we love Hugh Janus?
We got to do a Sargento month or something. I don't know.
Oh man,
cheesy
thanks
movies.
for calling in. I'm glad. We don't hear from Hugh Janus in about 8 or 9 months. So I never sure if he's still listening or not, and
Yeah.
he is. So
You
thanks
love-
for calling in, Janus.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Yeah, man. Thanks. It's always a good time to hear from you, boy Hugh Janus, man. Hope you're having happy holidays. And looks like we made it. Just saying weird shit, not caring.
Looks like we made it.
Look, Mom, we made it. We're doing it.
Is all it took.
Next up, we're gonna hear from our boy Matt. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Hey, Straight Chilling crew. It's me, Bruce Troll Matt. I'm calling in because y'all are watching Scrooged this week. By far my favorite Christmas movie. I hope y'all enjoyed it and gave it 5 stars. I'm going to speed answer a bunch of prompts from the coming up week, or the last couple weeks. You asked about Thanksgiving. I had a Friendsgiving with a bunch of my historical fencing friends, and the rule was not to bring any traditional Thanksgiving food. And since we're all fucking crazy dudes, every single one of us brought some kind of sausage, and so we had a literal sausage party for Thanksgiving. That's pretty funny to me. On a separate note that has nothing to do with this, I made a Slim Jim sandwich in front of a coworker the other day. I think I blew his fucking mind. He looked at me like I was the grossest person in the world, but it was actually really good. I re-listened to your RoboCop episode the other day, and the prompt at the end of that was like, if you could have a robotic limb, what would you have? I played a TTRPG back in high school where my dude had robot legs, and like it was meant to run real fast and jump, but I just used it to like kick people in the balls. So I think I'd go with that because that sounds fun. Miles called in, asked about other genres you'd want to mix with horror. I would say fantasy. I came on for the Green Knight episode, and I really liked the tone of that movie. I just wish there would have been more horror elements in it. Over on Cinemigos, we covered Legend a couple weeks ago, and same thing. Like, it could be a super scary movie. All the elements are there. The directors would have to like turn it up some. And then my last thing is, I was gonna shout out to Nas, #1 fan of Straight Chillin'. When you getting your Straight Chillin' tattoo? I want you to call in and tell us about it. That'd be awesome. All right, guys. Y'all have a good good Christmas month. Get it going. Turn on the music, turn on the lights, all that shit. and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
Man, it kind of slipped my mind that two people had straight chilling tattoos, to be honest with you. And honestly, I have this like a key memory in my mind now, because I remember when I found out about the first straight chilling tattoo, I was in DC for Randy's wedding, but I was at one of the museums. And I remember seeing that shit on my phone, and I was like, holy shit. So that was 4 years ago?
Almost exactly 4 years
That's
ago.
right. So 4 years ago, he's had that straight chilling tattoo. Damn,
that's crazy.
I will also say his answers were like a lot of the same as mine. I said Robo Legs too, and I also said fantasy last week for movies.
I don't know if I answered that question or not. Go ahead, Bob.
I was gonna say Slim Jim sandwich. Out of control, but also
that's
brilliant.
a lot of salt.
Know what else is on there? I gotta know what else is on there.
I'm assuming there's several Slim Jims making that thing.
And bread.
Is it just Slim Jims and white bread? Because I can't co-sign such things.
That's so much salt. Sodium is through the roof, my guy. Damn.
I have no problem with an abundance of sodium. Let me be clear.
Just drink the water. Don't give them kidney stones. Whoa.
Oh, I drink the water too. But give me some robo eyeballs. I want that,
dude.
Analyze some shit.
Yeah, let me just be able to see normally. You know, that would be tight.
That or a hard drive to store memories in, because my shit is fucked without it.
My shit is fucked.
Oh God, my shit is fucked.
My shit is fucked.
My shit is fucked, bro.
Yeah, actually, it would be really great to download all the languages so I could just speak those immediately,
or to know kung fu, as it were.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I need to know kung fu a lot. So.
If the brain knows it though, but the body can't do it, does that count? I mean,
well, the brain controls the body, so I don't know where the line is drawn exactly.
Yeah,
hopefully the fast twitch muscle gets controlled by the data.
The data. Thanks for calling, Matt. Hope you had
a robo tongue, baby. You can speak all the languages and do all kinds of things.
Do all kinds of things. Why don't you list those things explicitly?
Taste flavors you've never tasted before.
Oh, okay.
I bet you will.
I can't do that with my regular tongue. What else?
Matt, hope you had a great sausage party. Always good to hear from you, brother.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
Also, very couched challenge to Nas to get that tattoo.
Yeah, I also like that idea though. For Thanksgiving, bring things that are not traditional.
Yeah, I love that.
That's pretty fun.
My
that's
first thought was
party.
like egg rolls, baby. Bringing some egg rolls.
Dude,
that's a good call. Yeah. Ooh, might have to start that next year in Korea.
Yeah, that's not a bad call.
Yeah.
Bring some pizzas.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, dog. Again, if you guys want to call in, leave a voicemail for next week, hit us up at 904-638-3231. Do you fellas have a prompt you want to throw out for next week's show?
Well, what is
We're doing another Christmas one. Right?
We are. Yeah, we're laying it on thick. We're doing it. Juice, this is actually your host pick.
Finally.
What is it? What are we talking about?
Long time coming. It's been on a couple polls. It's maybe one of my most watched films in life. It is A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, the Halloween movie.
Yes. No. Absolutely not. Get ready.
A movie.
I've got my soapbox ready to go.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Somebody steal Soap's soapbox.
The humanity. Oh, God.
The pretension.
Oh,
my God.
Why do they make us do this? Why?
Damn.
The they is you this week, my guy.
But so yeah, let's see prompts. I don't know. Let's talk maybe Christmas music. What's your go-to Christmas? What's on your Christmas playlist? Can you recommend any good maybe underrepresented, underheard Christmas songs? You know, you got a good playlist going, or what's your go-to? I don't know. Do you like poppy? Do you like them sad? Do you like the hymns? You like the old school hymns? What's your go-to?
The HIMs, the hymns.
Yeah, the hymns. Hymns Christmas playlist. Oh, it's all right.
That's my favorite Christmas song.
Hymns.
Jesus Christ.
How much Bob loves. I love that we all know that one. I love that I
That's
pushed
the
that
only
song
song I
on
know
y'all
of
so
his.
much that you know the words.
Baby,
literally the only one I know.
Could you imagine walking into a Christmas Eve service and everybody's fucking singing that song?
Church style with the organ. Oh, dude,
I want to walk into I want to walk into an Office Depot on Black Friday and have that song playing.
If somebody wants to pull a huge prank on me, that would be the greatest. I go to Christmas Eve service and they're rocking him. If you can pull that
I'll
off,
rise
God
for the
damn.
hymns.
Ooh, with heartache every moment.
Now, give me like the legitimate hymns. I'm like a oh holy night kid. I like that shit.
I do too. I like the kind of darker stuff. Of course, you got the Carol of the Bells, but I do like the ones that are kind of darker, moodier, old school feel.
I do like the Tom Waits Christmas card from a hooker and whatever it is.
Minnesota?
I've got like
Minnesota?
every year. I probably need to build a new one this year because I've been rocking the same ones for a while. But I've got a good solid like classic Christmas songs, and then I have like a sad Christmas, which is more like modern, kind of moody stuff. Maybe some acoustic stuff. Not really any covers, really. I don't think. And then I have a hip hop Christmas playlist, which I quite enjoy every year.
I don't actually seek out any Christmas music for the most part though. Like I just like whatever Christmas music's playing, I either am like, oh cool, or I'm like, oh, not cool.
Not cool. Yeah.
I
because it's gonna be playing everywhere, and so I try to escape it whenever I have the choice of what to play.
that Wham song "Last Christmas," that's a fucking hitter for me.
Overplayed for me.
Yeah, that one doesn't get old. A lot of them do get kind of old, but that one.
Which ones do you hate too? You can call in about which Christmas.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
that.
That's an easier question.
Simply
Dominic the
having
Donkey
a
can
wonderful
suck my
Christmas
shit.
time. Which one?
Dominic the Donkey. Fuck that
I don't
donkey.
know what that is. What is that?
It sucks, is what it is.
Is it like
That's
a new
what
song?
It is.
No, it's old.
It's like a '60s chintzy song
Dominic
that still
the
gets play on
Donkey.
classic Christmas
I don't
playlists.
even know what that is.
Dude.
Okay.
It
I'll check
prominently
it out.
features hee haw as a lyric. It sucks.
I have
dicks.
no what?
Rotten, horrible dicks.
God,
Damn.
not the good kind of dicks, the bad dicks.
Not the good dicks.
the horrible
Only
dicks.
the horrible dicks.
Dude,
Dominic the Donkey?
Backdoor Santa from BB King. That's a hitter.
Okay.
That sounds like a pornography. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's very suggestive. The Real Big
Okay,
Fish Christmas EP. They got some hitters on that. Oh,
I think I better listen to that.
dude, Froggy Fresh, the Christmas song from
Oh,
Froggy
classic.
Fresh, fucking
Chris
hitter.
me a song.
Classic.
A brand new John Cena lunchbox.
That's on my hip hop playlist.
Dude, Warm Side of the
Dude.
Door by Morgan Ames, the
Well,
best
I have
Christmas
nev-
song of all time.
I have never heard this Dominic the Donkey song. Let's do it right now. Never heard of this before.
Yeah, I'm sorry to have introduced this into your world. I wish I could take it back. Fuck
No
that
idea
song.
what this is. Damn.
I find it deeply, deeply irritating.
Dominic the Donkey
All right,
stepped
yeah.
on Randy's balls. Yeah, call in
Yeah.
Christmas music.
Christmas songs. Christmas songs.
A Christmas song.
Dude, we almost played a show with Froggy Fresh.
We
Too bad.
did. Yeah.
It was literally the week
forgot
I
about
was
that.
leaving for Korea. They invited us to play with Froggy Fresh.
Yeah, that shit was
It's
wild.
like, well, too bad. I can't.
If only we would have
If
finally
only
been
we would have been
famous.
straight to the top.
In
That would've got you
Moneymaker
there.
Mike.
Give
Goddamn.
Moneymaker Mike is due.
Yeah, that's
All
it. Call in. Let us know. 904-638-3231. Watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. Get ready for next week's show. We're on the socials. Hit us up. If you want to join the daily Slack channel conversations, let us know, and I'll send you a link so you can do so. And until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel.